Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into the heart of self-love.
Yeah, it's a big topic.
It is. And look, we know you want the important stuff quickly, so that's the plan. We've pulled from various sources to give you a clear picture, what it is, why it matters. No jargon, just the essentials.
Psychology, philosophy, culture. It touches on a lot.
So let's jump in. First off, it seems like self-love isn't just, one single feeling.
Exactly. It's more like a structure built from key pieces. First, maybe think about self-acceptance.
Okay.
Which is basically embracing all of yourself, the good, the bad, the stuff you're working on. No judgment. It's unconditional.
So not pretending flaws aren't there, but owning them as part of the package.
That's it, precisely. Then there's self-compassion.
Right.
Big one.
Right.
This is about being kind to yourself when things get rough, like you'd be to a friend. So that means, actual kindness. Seeing struggles as part of being human. Everyone goes through it. And being aware of your feelings without letting them totally take over.
So it's not just wallowing or making excuses.
Definitely not. It's not self-pity or self-indulgence in that sense. Very different.
Got it. Active kindness. What else is in this mix?
Well, self-respect is crucial. This is having a solid regard for your own values, your dignity.
And that shows up in how you act.
Yeah, absolutely. It's action-oriented. Setting boundaries, for instance. Honoring what you need.
Okay.
And then related things contribute too, like self-awareness, really knowing yourself. Self-care, obviously looking after your well-being. Positive self-talk.
Being your own cheerleader, kind of?
Sort of, yeah. And trusting yourself, self-efficacy. It all feeds in.
Okay, so it's this whole interconnected way of, relating to yourself. Why is this actually important for, day-to-day life?
The link to mental well-being is really strong. Self-love helps build a more stable self-esteem.
Stable how?
It comes from inside, from your intrinsic worth, not just, say, getting praise or winning something. External stuff is nice, but this is deeper.
Right. Less dependent on outside approval.
Exactly. And it boosts resilience, big time. When you practice self-love, you tend to bounce back better from challenges. You see setbacks more as learning opportunities, less as total failures.
Like having a stronger inner shock absorber for life.
That's a good way to put it. And, all this leads to just better overall well-being, higher life satisfaction.
Meaning?
Well, studies link it to more happiness, fewer negative emotions, adopting healthier behaviors, even better relationships with other people.
That makes sense. You value yourself.
You tend to look after yourself better, and you attract or you build healthier connections, yeah.
Okay, that's compelling. So how do we, actively do this? What are the practical steps?
Right, the how-to. Well, mindfulness and self-reflection are great starting points.
Like meditation or journaling.
Yeah, exactly. Even just a few minutes. Tuning into your thoughts, your feelings without judgment. And consciously practicing self-compassion, especially when things are hard.
Can you give an example of the self-compassion piece?
Sure. Let's say you mess up at work. Instead of that instant, I'm so stupid, try pausing and thinking something like, okay, that didn't go well, it happens, what can I learn? It's about kindness towards your own mistakes.
Shifting that inner voice.
Precisely. Which leads to positive self-talk. Really pay attention to how you talk to yourself. And start, consciously replacing the harsh stuff with more supportive statements like, I am capable, I can handle this.
Affirmations, that kind of thing?
They can be, yeah. And crucially important, boundaries. Learning to say no respectfully when you need to. That's a huge act of self-respect.
That can be tough, though.
It can be, but it's vital. And finally, simple self-care. Things that genuinely recharge you, rest, good food, moving your body, hobbies you enjoy.
Okay, so it's really about being intentional, deliberate thought and action towards yourself. But how do we make sure this healthy self-love doesn't slide into, narcissism or something?
Good question. Important distinction. Healthy self-love is not narcissism. Narcissism involves, grandiosity, a real lack of empathy, needing constant admiration.
Right.
Healthy self-love is balanced. You appreciate yourself, sure, but you also recognize and value others. There's empathy. It's also different from just being self-obsessed, which can sometimes come from insecurity, actually.
So genuine appreciation versus an inflated ego or an anxious focus.
Exactly. Healthy self-love is about that internal validation, that acceptance we talked about, not needing constant external pats on the back.
Okay, that clarifies it. So wrapping up, this deep dive shows self-love is really foundational, isn't it?
Absolutely. Built on accepting yourself, being compassionate, respecting yourself.
And the payoff is huge: resilience, well-being, better connections.
And it takes conscious practice. Mindfulness, positive self-talk, boundaries, self-care.
It's balanced and healthy.
Right. You know, it's interesting. Many older philosophies, different traditions, they all kind of point to this idea. A good relationship with yourself is key to a good life. It's not really a new concept.
So here's something to think about then. What if you just tried incorporating one small piece of this? Maybe that moment of self-compassion next time you stumble. Or setting just one tiny boundary this week. How might that shift things for you, even a little? It really makes you consider how that relationship with yourself underpins, well, pretty much everything else.